All right, Greg, if you could be known for only one thing, what would it be?
Quite honestly, I'd say it's pretty simple. It's, just being a good person, to everyone around me, my friends, my family, and, my investors and colleagues. My colleagues are my friends as well. But, just doing things ethically and appropriately and just being the type of person that, people feel comfortable with and good about.
Beautiful. What is the greatest lesson in leadership you've learned as an entrepreneur?
I'd say that it really takes time and commitment to build something, and especially to build something great. And so, you know, that's that's really what it comes down to.
And what personal characteristic would you say has been most pivotal to your success?
I think it kind of ties to what I just said, my work ethic. I make sure that when I have tasks to get done, I work tirelessly to do them, and I work tirelessly to make sure that I'm not just doing them to get them done, but doing them to get the right end result and the best end result for myself and my partners.
Right. All right. Let's beautiful stuff, by the way. Let's take a nod to the randomness of the universe. I've got my random question cards here. Just tell me when to stop cutting the deck.
Stop.
All right. Top question here. What are your favorite apps?
I'm not quite honestly a big app user. I'm a big user of things like Waze and the Map app, but LinkedIn is absolutely my favorite. It's not exactly an app, but
No, great answer. It is an app. I
well,
love it.
I know there's an app, but it's more than just an app, right? It's not just doing a task for you. It's a whole business network. And so I love LinkedIn. If anybody wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, um, I'm always open to new connections. I don't have any problem with cold outreach.
All right, great. Now you mentioned Waze. I love that app. My wife loves it even more than me. I got to ask, like, what voice do you use? Do you remember? Because there's a,
So when my son was younger, we flipped between Elmo and Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster was absolutely impossible to understand while you were driving, but it was a lot of fun. Now that he's older, we don't get the same entertainment from the voices, but I haven't explored them too significantly to see what the latest ones are.
makes me wonder. They have a Scooby Doo now. That would be completely impossible to understand. Well, all right. For those of you out there who have to be Waze users, I urge you to try boy bands. Now you mentioned remembering the 1990s. Those of
Oh
you who remember the
gosh.
1990s, I think you're just going to love the boy band. It is funny whether you enjoy it either directly because you like boy bands or ironically. I really think that boy band has something for everyone. So, okay, all right, now back to the serious world. Uh, so, can you name a tip or trick that investors can implement in their business today?
Um, I would say that focusing on value is the biggest thing. It's not a tip or a trick, but just looking at what construction costs are, looking at what comparable sales are and have been, especially in this more recent environment. We've experienced a significant change in the value spectrum of real estate because we were on just an upward trajectory over the last 14 years following the GFC, which was artificially inflated by zero interest rates. And so making sure that you're in a good place relative to what it takes to build something, even though it's a cash flowing property, what is replacement cost, and where have comparable sales taken place is a real key to making sure that investments are sound.
Yeah, great point. And just as I love to say, trees don't grow to the sky. We need to understand that these trends don't continue. We're in slightly rougher waters now. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Jack and the Beanstalk, that's a fable. Uh, just letting you know, in case you're wondering out there. So yeah, very good. In very different times. Certainly, this is a time that a lot of people are getting washed out, sadly. Well, can you name a book that's helped to forge you as a leader, entrepreneur, or investor, and tell us why?
So I'd say it ties to the last answer. It's The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Benjamin Graham, was a huge value investor, value oriented investor. So really focused on, where it makes sense to invest, where you're investing at a good basis and with, a logical thesis behind that investment and business strategy is really what's driven my investment career and investment focus.
Awesome. If I was downstairs, I'd be able to show you my copy. But there you go. It's something I've read multiple times. I would have to say, don't just take Warren Buffett's word for it. Take mine. It is the number one investing book of all time. All right. Can you set us out with a quote to help forge our listeners as leaders and entrepreneurs?
Um, I would say it's continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential, which is a Winston Churchill quote. I think that really speaks to just the whole what I've mentioned earlier. Is work ethic. Real estate people have moved into because it was the flavor of the month for many months, but really, especially now in this environment where rates are higher, rent growth may or may not be coming down. And, we're in this slight stagflation, maybe environment that we're in. As an owner, as an operator, as an investor, you need to work your butt off to have things make sense and to deliver on your business plan. So, to the extent that anyone's looking to outsource that or to invest with groups that are taking that approach, that's what we're doing at Ashland. We just bust our butts every day to find things that are compelling. But to the extent that they're doing it on their own, I'd say effort, work ethic are the keys in this environment.
Right, beautiful. So, with that, I just want to make sure that we have the opportunity to reach out to you. So, email, website, carrier pigeon, smoke signals. What is the best way for our listeners to reach out to Greg Bronson?
So, connect with me on LinkedIn, or my email is Greg at ashlandcapitalfund.com.
All right, beautiful. Well, Greg, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to our audience today. A very thought-provoking and insightful interview. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you very much, George. Great to be here.
Indeed.